Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Wolves, and this is a new crime thriller from writer-director John Watts, who, started off with Cop Car. That was what really put him on the map, but recently has, been spending all of his time, for the most part, making, Spider-Man films, and this time he takes the reins of this film about dueling fixers who think that they're, better than it all, or they're the best in the business and nobody can do what they do, despite the fact that they're oddly similar in so many ways. You have George Clooney and Brad Pitt coming back together as these fixers as they try to dispose of a crime at the center, with Margaret, played by Amy Ryan, who something unexpected happens in a hotel room, and they're both brought into the fold by a mysterious figure who's totally not Frances McDormand, picking up on that voice pretty quickly. But this film has, its biggest selling point is Brad Pitt and George Clooney, and they are fantastic. They really sell these characters well. They have such great chemistry as always, and such a great dynamic together. And they're extremely charismatic. It's fun seeing their rivalry budding and then them slowly getting closer together as they're trying to figure out this bigger conspiracy than either of them could have imagined. And this film has a sleek, cool look to it. It has some personality. Larkin Sepul, who's a cinematographer, I think captures that kind of cool. You have a score from Theodore Shapiro that captures essence of like cool thriller, like crime thrillers like this and other films, and brings in some of those themes, and it helps really set the tone and feel that sense of cool as you have these two guys operating, trying to fix this situation. You have the likes of, like I mentioned, Amy Ryan and Frances McDormand, Porna Jagannathan, and even Richard Kind. Austin Abrams, who, has popped up in quite a few things at this point in his young career, whether it's Paper Towns or Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark and such like that, as he plays this unsuspecting young man who gets caught up in this whole entire thing. There's some sleek and engaging actions at times. It's a film that has a really overly convoluted story, and at the end of the day, I feel like so little of the story really matters. It's all leading up to one very specific ending that this film brings about that has some interesting ramifications to it and could open the door for some more interesting things potentially in the future with these two fixers and everything. And it actually made me excited. Like, I would, even though like the story wasn't the most interesting, just their dynamic and their problem solving and their cattiness back and forth with each other and not wanting to work together, all that comes together in a really engaging kind of way, and I would like to see how their dynamic grows. So it opens the door for some more things, and it leaves the door open to continue the stuff that really worked, which was their dynamic. I think the style of it, how the action is shot, how everything is brought together, the sleekness, the sharpness, I think Watts does a really fine job there. Honestly, I wish there was more personality like this in his Spider-Man films, to be perfectly honest. There's some cool needle drops and stuff like that that really work for this story, and some of them might be a little on the nose, but it feels like that kind of film where it's about two middle-aged, like 60-year-old fixers who, it's got that bit of dad vibe kind of soundtrack and stuff like that. And in the end, I think this is a really fun and engaging thriller that there's a lot of charm in these two leads, and it's right there on Apple TV Plus, so worth a watch. But those are my thoughts on Wolves. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.